Okay, Alan, you ready? Okay. All right, it's a little after 7, so I'll call this meeting of the Board of Zoning Appeals to order. Make sure everybody's got their mics on, okay? And the first item is a quorum, and we have 3 of the 5 members present, so that constitutes a quorum. For the record, members Knight and Davis are absent tonight. Second item is the approval or adoption of the agenda. So unless we have suggestions for the agenda changes, we need to.
So move.
Is there a second?
I second.
Okay, so the agenda is approved for tonight. Public comment. Is there any public comment before we get into new business and the public hearings? Okay, hearing none, we'll go right into new business, adoption of the minutes from last month's meeting, or the last time that we met, wasn't last month. Are there any additions or corrections to the minutes as presented?
No. I make a motion that no change is needed.
They be approved as
That they-
submitted?
That they be approved as submitted.
Okay, is there a second?
I'll second that.
Okay, all those favors say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, so the minutes are approved as submitted. So we'll go right into our cases for tonight for the public hearing. Our first number is case number V-7-26-1, Joseph R. Daniel variance request. William Galloway, on behalf of Joseph R. Daniel, has applied for a variance in the Madison County Code of Ordinances, Appendix 1, Article 4-4-1. Structure shall be located 50 feet or more from any street right-of-way, which is 50 feet or greater in width, or 100 feet or more from the center line of any street right-of-way less than 50 feet in width. Excuse me, the applicant is requesting the front setback be reduced from 100 feet from the center line of the street right-of-way to 70 feet. A variance is also requested from Article 4-6-2, rear. Each main structure shall have a rear yard of 50 feet or more to reduce the rear setback from 50 feet to 25 feet. Purpose of the variance request is to construct a new dwelling. This variance is requested for property identified as Madison County Tax Map 55B-1. So someone representing this case here, come on up to the podium and tell everybody who you are and tell us a little bit about it, please.
Point of order, Mr. Galloway. Yeah, if you just slide that little button on the left there towards you, it'll turn right on. There you go. Thank you, sir.
Everybody hear me?
Yes, sir. You're
All right,
good.
well, thank you all very much for this meeting. In a nutshell.
And your name for the record, please?
William Galloway.
Okay,
Agent
thank
for
you,
Joe
Mr.
Daniel.
Thank you, Mr. Galloway.
In a nutshell, with this lot that they have owned for many, many years, without the variance in these setbacks, it's pretty much worthless to us. We can't really build anything on the property with those current setbacks. We've done boundary line adjustments with the lot that we have next door, trying to create 2 lots that are suitable to build on. And even with these boundary line adjustments and things that we've done, actions like that, we just can't make those setbacks work. We created a 50-foot by 50-foot right-of-way to reinstall a new entrance that's safer to access both these lots. Side setbacks are not an issue, it's just the front and rear setback. We basically just have no room, as I said, to build anything here. So what we're trying to be, as you noted, was we're trying to build, we're not trying to build a mansion there. It's a simple 1,144 square foot rambler, 26 foot wide by 1,144 square feet with a 96 square foot 8 by 12 front porch. We're just trying to build affordable housing in the area on those 2 lots that we have there.
And for the record, what year was this lot recorded?
I'm really not sure. The new lot boundary line adjustments that we did were recorded about, I'm going to say 60 days ago, 60, 90 days ago.
But the original lot, I saw a date of 1971,
I know Mr. Daniel told me he'd owned it for a very, very long time.
but it was done prior to zoning, correct?
That's correct.
That's the way I interpreted the plat, or the deed. I read the deed.
Yes.
Yeah. Is that correct, Alan?
That seems right. I've got it in the packet. I'm skimming through it now. It looks like it's July 20th, 1971.
Yes. Okay. which predates zoning ordinance.
Yes.
Okay, questions from BZA members?
Have you heard anything from the neighbors?
I've not heard any feedback on this application at all.
Okay, thank you.
Any questions from-
Okay, to the audience, any questions, comments pertaining to this case? Come on up to the podium, please.
I'm Oscar Brockman, 3218 Shelby Road, Madison, Virginia. I'm on lot 55B2, which is next to it.
Next door.
And I'm opposed to any variance on this. I mean, they want a third less in front and 50% less in rear. The lot's been there for over 50 years. If it was a viable building lot, something would have been done to it a long time ago before the zoning ordinances were in. And I feel like that if the variance is given on this, that anytime a lot in the county doesn't meet the zoning specifications and a variance is given, there's no reason to have the zoning ordinances.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Brockman. Any other questions, comments from the audience? Okay, hearing none, back to the BZA. Yes, your points are well taken, and we discuss that on every case. I made a point of noting when the lot was created, because prior to, was it 72, whenever the ordinances were enacted,
I think it's June of '72, sir.
yes, you could build on it with no issue. And when that lot was subdivided, it was buildable. It's just that he hasn't built on it since then. That's why it's a grandfathered lot. And it's been the policy for a number of years for the BZA to, if it's doable with a grandfathered lot, to make exceptions if it's doable so that they can be built on. That's just the nature of the grandfathered issue. And that has been the policy of this BZA long before I participated. So, if it was, if that lot was created after 72, that would be a much different issue. It would be one that would be very difficult to make an exception for. That's my opinion. But with grandfather lots, this has been the standard. If it's a normal and agreeable variance request, which this is well within the boundaries of a lot of the ones that we see, we've been granting them. Other members of the BZA? Any comments? Hearing none, we need a motion on this case.
I'll make a motion to approve the case.
Okay, is there a second?
I second that.
It's been moved and properly seconded, this case be approved, the variance be approved. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay, so it is approved as submitted. Okay, our next case is case number V7622, Hassel Nicholson, a variance request. Hassel Nicholson has applied for a variance, the Madison County Code of Ordinances, Appendix 1, Article 4-6-1, side. Each main structure shall have side yards of 25 feet or more. The applicant is requesting the side setback to be reduced from 25 feet to 10 feet in order to place a manufactured home. The variance is requested for property identified as Madison County Tax Map 64-40C. So Hassel, you want to go to the podium and just tell us a little bit about what you're doing?
My name is Heisel Nicholson. We bought this property not too long ago, and it's narrow, and we're just trying to get this manufactured home in the middle of it so that we can have room to drive around the right-hand side. I did a sketch to show where we would set the trailer off the road about 185 feet. The property gets a little bit level right there. It's not up near the right-of-way, but to get around the back of the property for access to pump the drain field, go to the back of the property, which is 480 feet on one side, 478 feet on the other side. We're just trying to back the trailer over to the side a little bit to make a room for parking and to get around the right-hand side.
So it's a very narrow lot, isn't it?
Yes, sir. It's only 70 foot wide, so very narrow.
And the date of the subdivision of this,
I looked at the plat, but I don't remember. I think right at the bottom, it's 1961.
61 is what I
Yes.
saw earlier. Is that correct, Alan?
That seems right, sir.
61? And with that size lot in there as it is, I see you have drain field drawn in here and everything. I mean, health department approval has been granted.
We got the OSE guy to lay it out, and we have to get it approved by the county, but it is, the soil guy already said that the soil perks, so we just have to move forward with applying with the county.
With the health department?
Yeah, with the health department, yes, sir.
So you have a consultant that has perked it?
Yes, yes, we've already done that.
Okay. Question from Board of Zoning Appeals?
I have a question regarding the parking.
Yes.
Is there any option to have the driveway come in where it is, but maybe have the parking to, I guess, looking at this, maybe the south side or the front of the home?
The only thing about the front of the house, the way the property comes down, we're just trying to have the parking to the side. It is on a hill. The property drops all the way to the trailer. We're just trying to make it to where the driveway's gonna be steep coming down to the trailer. The winter time, we don't wanna slide right into the trailer, so we just moved it off to the side for safety, parking, because the curve of the driveway is all uphill, probably from the trailer to the top of the hill, probably 15 to 20 feet drop in just that 100 foot. So it's a steep hill going down, and that's why we, tried to have the parking off to one side for safety.
So how many other homes or houses are on the road that entrances this lot?
The main, Church Road, I would think a half dozen houses. There's, I know, one other mobile home going out. It's a variety of homes, and, I know of one mobile home. There's one back in the woods, I don't know what that is, if it's a mobile home or a regular house, I don't really know.
Are you at the end of the road, or?
Yes, sir. The next to last property, there's one other lot, a 17-acre lot, right at the end, and we're the next to last, right at the right-hand
Alan
side.
has it up there on the screen.
Okay.
Oh,
Thank you, Alan.
So main, Baptist Church Lane just serves these private lots?
Yes, yes,
It's a private lane?
yes, sir. Yes,
Okay, any other questions before we go to the audience or comments?
any feedback from the neighbors?
My office has not received any comments, but I suspect you've got some public comment here tonight.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, before we go to any other question, comments? Okay, to the audience, questions, comments? Looks like we'll get you next.
I was going to answer the question about how many houses
Oh,
on that road.
okay.
Thank you. Good evening. For the record, my name is Barb Flance Baldwin, and I serve as the trustee of the Seth Cheatham Trust. I am the owner of the 17-acre property that was discussed. And we also, my family also has acreage immediate adjacent to the left and broader south end of where Mr. Nicholson wants to place his mobile home. Regrettably, I'm here only because I received the announcement in the mail. This is my first time actually seeing the additions to what he wants to do with regard to the plat. And I am not inclined to look at this favorably right now, only because one, I'm just being introduced to this, but two, after 32 years of public service in Alexandria, Virginia, my husband and I are retiring back to our home place this year. And so there's going to be significant construction that's happening this year. And I was with the understanding that the 25-foot variance was in place for all of us to heed to. So I'm not sure where even the 10-foot request variance, where that is. I do apologize for not having this information. It's just all very new to me right now.
Well, it looks like the 10 feet variance is off the back deck, is that correct? So it's 10 feet side yard rather than the required 25 feet. There,
There we
he brought it up there.
Mr. Chairman, if I may.
Go right ahead, Alan.
So as I have rotated the image on the screen, north is now up. So you can see Main Uno Baptist Church Lane on the
Right.
left side. So
Yes.
this is the configuration that's been proposed, with the deck being 10 feet off the property line, whereas the ordinance now requires 25.
Correct, correct. And we are all heeding to the 20, the ordinance of the 25-foot. And so is it on the 17, toward the 17 acreage, or is it toward my grandmother's property, which is?
17 acres.
Okay,
The line at the top, that's the 17 acres, and where the writing is, that's the driveway, right?
I see, I see. Okay. I just wanted to go on record to share that, while I would never hesitate for someone to, do their building, I don't want to obstruct any progress that's happening here. I'm just not very familiar, and this is my first time reviewing this
Right.
document.
Right.
So I just wanted to go on record to say that. Thank you so
Okay,
much.
thank you. Okay,
I'm Sarah Fisher from UNO,
yes, ma'am.
and
We know.
my husband Mike and I actually own property off of Main UNO Baptist Church Road. So we own 64.646A. And the Nicholsons own 64.4640C. And I have pulled it up on the GIS. Our properties are very similar. We have 0.75 acres.
Which
That piece
property?
of property that Nicholsons have is 0.78. That's 0.3 of an acre difference. And I measured with this tape measure from our post, the two surveyed posts, 63 feet. So take away 20 feet, that's 40 feet, that they're requesting the 10, to be reduced to 10 feet. I don't know how an emergency vehicle would ever be able to go down through there in case is needed. That is a wooded area. We have had fires in that area. So, I guess the 25 feet is a Madison County,
Yes,
Rules.
that's a setback.
and it's a rule. I mean, whatever, law,
It's a ordinance,
okay. So
setback
I
ordinance.
would request that not be, the variance not be allowed. And the Nicholsons have already brought their trailer in there and started clearing the land, so they feel very confident that this is going to be approved, I believe. So I would suggest or request that you not approve it. And if you do approve it, I would like to know what my ability to appeal that would be.
Okay, just a minute. Any other questions, comments from the audience?
I do. Let me just say,
Go ahead, Mike.
I'm Mike Fisher.
Mike, if you could point out on the map up there which parcel is the Fishers, is yours?
Yeah, see the red line?
That one.
The little red line that goes down?
Yeah.
The next one this way. Come all the way down to the crooked line. See the
Down here?
line? Now, come on back, right there.
That one's yours?
This little one here?
That's one of that
Yeah.
house. That's one of the houses that goes to another bigger lot.
Okay.
Okay.
I just want to point out that this whole issue is, I don't know when it's going to come to a head, but it's 9 houses down there.
Okay.
And this road does not and cannot support, and we have somebody else who wants to build. I don't blame them wanting to build, but at some point, I think maybe a brush truck get down there, one of the big engines could not. If somebody's gonna be, have a fire, a rescue squad, that's the issue that's, to me, is the biggest issue. At some point, somebody's gonna have to fix that road. I don't know who's gonna do it. I don't own a home on that road, I own land on that road. Don't intend to build there, I can get in from another way. My point is, you keep, I mean, this is 1 acre lots, I know they're grandfathered. The problem is, common sense says that we need to stop that road and look at, getting it up to some kind of standards.
You're
VDOT
talking about the
standard.
main Uno Baptist Church? right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
That
Thank
is
you.
a mess. And it is dry now.
Ma'am, sir, it's up here. Guys, this isn't public comment, all right? We're discussing this up here. Go
Anyway,
ahead, Mike.
the road is in bad shape, needs to be brought up to standard. That's my issue. I don't,
How wide is the road, Mike? Is it just
oh,
a,
if it's 20, it's
Is it
narrower than
grandfathered?
25 feet in some places.
is a grandfather 20-foot right away?
Yeah, it's just. and-
Is that what
and-
it is?
And you've gone,
It's not specified,
no, because it's.
just a
it's-
prescriptive
some of it
use,
goes
20
over-
foot.
Goes over on Mr. Page's property at some point. So I mean, it's just, sorry,
Look
but
up,
anyway,
Mike.
anyway,
It's okay, Mike.
it's just wherever you can get by there at some point. We put gravel on there, Jack Tennyson and I put gravel on it before. But, you know, if the pothole gets big enough, it goes over on private land.
I don't know what you're saying.
Okay. Sorry about that.
That's
But
okay,
anyway.
Mike.
Thank you.
Do you have comments, sir? Yes, I do. Okay. If you tell us your name for the record.
My name is James Tinsley. I've lived on that road. I've got 26 acres on that property.
Okay,
That road going down to UNC how wide that road is, that road's approximately 12 foot wide. And the reason I'm saying that is, the squad has came in there before. And if you meet someone, somebody's got it back probably from here all the way back down to Main Street. And with emergency vehicle, if you got your house on fire, you need a fire truck to be able to get down to it. I've had to pull squads out of there. I pulled a Madison County fire truck out of there before. If I don't clear that road when it comes snow in the wintertime, it don't get cleared.
right.
Like I said, I've been taking care of that road ever since probably the last 50 years.
Which parcel is yours?
If you come right back up the road, right across from Mike's there,
Right,
I own from 261 all the way down to 309, right down to the corner piece of property that he just bought.
okay, so everything on the right side?
No, his property's on the right.
Yours is on the
Mine is
left?
on the left,
Left.
going all the way down to his property. And like I say, it's a little narrow road. Once you go past, that lady's, she owns 17 acres in the field. The piece that joins his property up in the front is her mother's. So the road going down to his property right now is approximately 12 foot wide. So if you meet someone, you're gonna back all the way out.
Right,
There is no turnaround because you've got trees this big that you can't just back down through the woods. Getting emergency vehicles in there is a problem. Because even the sheriff department, like I said, with the property across from me, Guy just comes there one day and just parked a car in the middle of the road. I asked him 3 or 4 months to get it moved. Finally, I had to contact the sheriff's office here approximately a week ago, and they instructed me, said, well, you go talk to him, see what he says. I said, well, I went and asked him nicely. He blowed up at me like he wanted to do something, and I told the officer, hey, you blow up at me on my property, that you're gonna do something to me, I will defend myself by all means.
Right.
So the deputy came down and told him, said, well, if you don't move it, I have instructed Mr. Tinsley to call a rollback or wrecker to move this. Just how narrow the road is. So if this vehicle is sitting there and you're trying to get a vehicle down through it, emergency vehicle couldn't get by.
Right.
So if you live down below me there and you got sick and you call a squad, there's a car parked in the middle of the road that the emergency vehicle can't get around. So I don't think the squad and nowhere else around is gonna put someone on a stretcher and try to carry them from here down here past Wavy Out School on a stretcher on a gravel road that's got potholes in it.
Right.
The road, I have tried to get VDOT in there to do something about it. They keep telling me to come back to talk to the county about it. Yes. 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 So that's more or less the point. Like I say, I talked to VDOT, they say come talk to you
Right.
about trying, because of all the rest of the roads going down through there between Buggy Lane and going down past Mike Fisher to Tatum's Road. Every other road in there is a state road. This is a privately road that's maintained. If I don't put gravel on it, it don't get gravel on it. If I don't pull the snow out of it, it don't get snow out of it. And like I say, I work in Northern Virginia, so by the time I come home at night, come home first thing in the morning, I'm tired. I've been on like 14-hour shifts.
Well, that's,
But the road is not wide enough for emergency vehicles to get, if you meet someone, especially if like the squad goes in there and he comes in there and he's at the wrong address and he figures, well, I got to back up. So, you got a ways to back to try to find a driveway somewhere that he can turn around to go out of there again.
right. Thank you, Mr. Tinsley. I mean, it's one of those things, I don't know what to tell you about the road issue, because that's,
I know that. Well, I'm just.
I mean, you brought a point, said it.
I'm looking for safety.
I understand.
Because if you get sick,
I
don't want the
understand.
squad saying, well, we can't get to your house, and they're like, well, we can't put you on a stretcher and carry you 200 yards up a gravel drive.
No, I understand what you're saying. But if there's anything done to the road outside of private ownership, it's a,
Well,
we're not the county
Yes.
that has,
We're trying to get the state to come in there, and they just.
yeah, I mean, we don't have any authority to
And
address
as far as
that.
staying 25 feet off your property line, like I said, I've built houses the last 40 years. So everybody's got to have a leeway, because with 10 foot, if you, like I said, she's planning on getting ready to build a house there. And everybody else has to abide by your 25-foot variance. Why make an exception now? Turn your trail, you can turn your trail the other way, and it will work fine.
Well, the road gives a whole lot of different issues for you guys. Since it's not, I understand what you're saying, but I think we're done with public comment. I mean, we understand what you're saying, but you have a prescriptive use access that's doesn't appear to be recorded with any width or anything at all. That's part of the problem, just like with this lot, because it was done in 61 or something in that era, long before zoning ordinance, or why we have zoning ordinances now, to try to prevent issues like this from happening. It still doesn't address, with Housel's lot, it still doesn't, and there are other people with the lot besides you two and the Fishers that have, I assume there are others that have property down there and have built on it, that,
Her mother owns the property on the other end. She's got the field,
right,
and he's got his little piece of property, but the other piece is joining it, where the 478 is her mother's property.
right.
And she had already voiced her opinion, I think she was speaking for her mother, that she wanted to stick with the 25.
But even if Heisel was to turn his mobile home the opposite way, he still has access to that lot. It still doesn't change the road.
Yeah, we weren't denying access to the lot. They was just trying to, everybody, when she goes to build her house, wasn't gonna build close on the line. And when her mother comes down to build right there, she wasn't going down, she was gonna go by with the county and set up your 25 foot off the property line. I think that's,
Well, as I stated earlier, with the grandfathered lots, that's when we take exception to setbacks. If it's agreeable, if it looks like an agreeable arrangement to make the property usable. And obviously, this is probably as good of example of a grandfathered lot that by today's standard is hardly usable. You know, and the only way you can make it usable is with adjusting the setbacks for something like a mobile home. It's still a lot that whoever owns that lot, just like the lots you all own, have legal access, the way I interpret it, down an unsurveyed prescriptive use road. And that causes the problem. That's the problem that you're talking about. And so, and that's not an easy one to address just by having him change setbacks one way or the other. It's your road is the issue. And that's, I mean, I don't know what else to say. I mean, I sympathize with that issue. That's a hard one to correct. And, you know, that issue was created, like I say, back in 60s, late 50s, whenever this was done, however the subdivision was done, they just didn't have the standards that we have today.
I don't think there's a subdivision that put in there.
Well, I mean, not subdivision, it was a subdivision by an estate settlement, I assume. That's what happens lots of times with situations like this. So I don't, you know, I feel for all the issues that you've said and the Fishers have said, but at the same time, you have lots down that same road and you want to access your lots too. And see, I mean, it's like you just said, not talking about access to his lot, you
But
just,
last time when I built my house there in 96, I had to stay 25 feet off the property line, which I was way over 25 feet off the property line, and also over 100 feet from the center of the road.
right.
So, you know, like I was going by the variances that the county had put up, you know, like 25 foot, yeah, I'm way more than 25 foot off the property line. And then I went from the center because when I put a shop up, I had dug the foundation, had C.R. Butler on the way with concrete to pour the foundation. When the county inspector came down, he said, I made a mistake. We need to turn your building. So meanwhile, I've got to cancel concrete because I've got a foundation that's dug out, fill it back in and completely dig it the other way and move my building back from where they originally said that I could put it. When I own the land that I'm putting it on, I'm more than 25 feet from the property line, and my land goes completely across the road.
Well, you know, I'm not familiar with what you're talking about there, but especially with grandfather lots, you would have had the option to come in and do the same thing that the Heisel's coming in, especially if it's a grandfather lot that is smaller in size than what we allow today.
It wasn't small.
Well, I'm not going to get into a discussion with you on what happened to you years ago. You know, we're looking at this here, and the issue is the road. The issue is the safety of the road. The issue is the maintenance of the road. That was the issue when I think you came in earlier. I can't remember what the issue was for back with this lot, if I remember correctly. But I remember we talked about this road. It's been a while back. And those are issues that are going to constantly be there. And, you know, he has a legal access to his lot, however the width and size is. And, you know, I think the mobile home is a minimum residential usage for any size lot. So, I mean, the problem gets to be the road and how you address that road. I can't give you an answer to that. I mean, that's unfortunately something that the property owners have to address that front that road, because that's your access. You know, that's a tough one. Yeah, I'll be honest with you. And it's not just this case. There are others like this all through the county. But you highlight the problems that this whole development in this area has. You know, and I sympathize with Heisler because he wants to utilize his lot the best way that they can. And if it's just a 10-foot variance, then, you know, that's in the whole scheme of things for this size lot, and it doesn't change the issues that you've described that are real issues. You know, so,
When he's got that drawn up there, like say you build a house, you turn your house.
Well, we'll ask when we get back to that. Okay, any other comments from the audience before we come back to the BZA? Yes,
Just, I can't see that, how wide the mobile home is.
14 feet,
I can't see it from here.
14 feet.
14 feet is what they say,
I got you.
14 feet. Okay, so another comment from the public, we're gonna come back to the BZA. We're gonna come back to the BZA. Hassel, since you're the applicant, you wanna address why you have the trailer laid out the way it is? Some of their comments, be good if you went back to the podium.
Just to address a little bit, the one side of the mobile home from the deck is gonna have 27 foot. That's 2 foot extra with the width we have. If we took the mobile home and put it directly in the middle, it would make it to where we just have a smaller access around it, to get by it. You know, we're just trying to have a little bit more room to get around the trailer. We're 185 foot down the hill. The boundaries can be. Yeah, okay, thank you. But, the boundary, we could move the trailer all the way up the hill and be 100 foot from the road. And when you come in the lane, you would see the trailer right there. It would be right in the middle of the lot, 2 little decks on each end. And all we're trying to do is just be a little considerate with the neighbors to where the house, the mobile home will be down the hill to where you can't see it, you know, from the neighbor's house across the road. On the road, you'll be able to see it, but it'll be 185 foot off the road. We're trying to be considerate to put the trailer in the, you know, less conspicuous spot down the hill. And because of that, we're just trying to adjust the yard a little bit where we have a little more access around one side, you know. That's what we're trying to do.
That's why you placed it where you did.
Yes, yes, sir. So,
And you said that that driveway is very steep.
Yes,
So
yes,
you're
ma'am.
pretty limited in terms of really where you could put it on the lot.
Yes, ma'am. I mean, like the lady said, we could have the driveway, the trailer in the very middle, the driveway in the very middle, and you know, the driveway would come down right at the
Right
end
at
of the
it.
trailer.
Uh-huh.
And that's why we're trying to scoot it back a little bit, just to, you know, make it where we do have a parking area and where you can get trucks around, you know, to drain field or whatever around back, you know.
Okay, any other questions, comments, BZA members? No, we're back up here. Sorry, we're done with public comment. I think we understand the issues. Back to BZA. Questions, comments?
Nothing further for me.
What's that?
Nothing further for me.
I mean, you know, I sympathize with the issues, and their issues are there, and they've been there, and they're gonna stay there, unfortunately. And like I said, most of the issues are with the road. The setbacks, like we said earlier, are, has been it's a common request for grandfathered lots. And there are a lot of lots like this out there that you wouldn't cut up like this today. You wouldn't be allowed to. And so it gets to be a matter of, how the lot becomes usable or can it become usable? And that's when people come in and ask for a variance to make them usable. Like I say, I don't know, I can't say anything up here tonight that can help you with the road issues. I mean, that's a real problem, and you have to work with people just like the fellow that parked the car in the road. Some people are not nearly as agreeable, and believe me, I understand that. But, with Mr. Nicholson's request, from what we usually see, in my opinion, up here is not unreasonable. The issue is the road and the problems that that road creates. And that's not really what That's not the main issue that we're trying to help Heisel, not trying to help Heisel, but we're trying to address with Heisel, being the setbacks. And this isn't uncommon. And we always, every case that comes before is a hardship request. And for him to be able to use the lot, in his mind, creates a hardship request. And that's what we are supposed to be looking at. So, having said that, if you don't have any other comments, we need a motion on this case, and the chair cannot make a motion.
I move that we accept the variance request.
Because
Approve.
it's been moved by Ms. Long to approve the request for the variance. Is there a second?
I will, excuse me, I will second the,
Okay, it's been moved and probably seconded that the variance request be approved. All those in favor say aye. And so the variance request is recommended for approval, is approved. And as far as appeals, there are appeals, but you would need to talk to Alan. I couldn't tell you what they are in this seat. But, and I'm not gonna venture out there because I would probably say the wrong thing.
How do I find that out?
I would ask Mr.
Ms. Fisher, you're welcome to call me in the morning. I'm happy to give you my card, and we can talk about whatever you like.
That's the best way to approach it, yes. Thank you, Alan. And I hope I helped, but I know you didn't get the answer that you wanted, but it's still, the issue is not the lot, the issue is the road. It looks like to me,
Well, I think what she was speaking, with her property being behind it, she didn't want it 10 feet from her property, and her mother didn't want it the way he's got it drawn up, he's got 27 feet off the property line, which that would be her mother's property.
Right.
The problem she was having was the 10 feet off of her property in the back. That's the problem that she's having there, being so close to her property.
Mm-hmm.
When if he had spun it around the other way, it would have worked, it would have been a problem.
Okay, well, maybe y'all can talk some more about it with him. He approved his variance, it doesn't mean he has to utilize it. If you can get together and talk about it. Okay, we'll move on with our agenda for tonight. If I can find where my agenda went to. Can I use yours?
yes, sir.
Thank you. Okay, next item on the business is old business, which is review and adoption of BZA bylaws, which the BZA has been operating for a long time without bylaws. And so thanks to Mr. Nichols' work on this, he has presented us with a proposal of bylaws, and Ms. Long presented some suggested changes, which I think you incorporated. Is that correct, Alan?
I believe they've been adopted, and you'll have to excuse me, it's been a minute since I looked at this particular agenda myself. I think I did circulate to everybody, after the last time we met, the updated version.
Right.
That also contained the county attorney's feedback.
Right.
Which incorporated a lot of references and simple items of clarification. So everyone should have received a copy of that as it's gone along. Of course, the county attorney's suggested edits are in red, and I do believe we incorporated Member Long's comments as well. So that's where we are. If you all find it agreeable, great. If you want to wait until we have a full body seated, that's totally fine, whatever you all like to do.
Yeah, I think we should probably wait until we have everybody here to adopt their first bylaws.
That seems appropriate to me.
Yes, okay. So, if that's agreeable with you
Yes,
two,
yes.
we will just, punt this for a little bit longer.
Would you like me to simply, or you can, it's perfectly acceptable to provide me with feedback later if you like, but would you like me to accept the suggested changes by the county attorney into the latest draft and just adopt those
I
Sure.
think that's agreeable.
for our working
yeah.
document?
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah,
very
please.
good. So that way we won't highlight everything there.
Yes,
That's good.
no, that would be fine.
Very good.
Okay, so as far as old business, we will postpone that till we have a full membership to address the bylaws before we take action. The final item on the agenda tonight is discussion of our proposed nomination for BZA alternate. And we have one candidate, which is Ross Shiflett. Our other candidate backed out, is that correct?
We did have another candidate who withdrew her application, yes.
Okay. Ross, you want to just tell everybody, if they don't know you, a little bit about yourself?
I'm sure. Ross Shepard, live in Patch, lifelong resident of the county, served on
Hang on a second, Ross, and we'll get your microphone.
Yeah. Don't talk so fast, Ross.
getting y'all to change all this stuff. So,
We're high-tech now.
Thank you, sir.
hang on.
Yes, sir.
Okay, start all over again. Ross Shepard, live in Pratt's, lived in the county all my life. Served on the planning commission off and on 12 years plus, maybe, of all terms, maybe a little bit longer. Did one term on the board of supervisors and kind of keep up to date on these kind of things. And tonight brings back memories from a lot of cases of a long time ago. Like I say, I'm willing to serve. Retired, got more time than I normally have, except for grandchildren and things like that, and be glad to entertain any questions you all have.
Okay, I know Ross pretty good. Suzanne? Do you have any questions for Ross? I know you don't know Ross.
I do not.
You do not. But,
I will ask, what did you retire from?
I retired from Culpeper County, maintenance.
he also has a history of employment with Madison County. I guess we need to take, do we recommend this to the board to nominate to the circuit court?
I think you all get to decide whether you would like to endorse the appointment of Mr. Shiflett, or, but say, if you're ready to act on that, or if you'd like to think about it, you certainly can. If you want to wait and see if more applications, you can choose whatever action you want.
Okay.
Ultimately, this position will go, let's say, before the court for
Right.
appointment, but
Circuit
certainly
court, yeah.
your recommendation and the Board of Supervisors' recommendation will carry weight.
But we'll, if we endorse Ross, it will go to Ms. Turner, and she will submit it to the circuit court?
Correct. If
Is
you're
that
ready
correct?
to endorse a candidate, then, let's say, I will forward that to Ms. Turner,
Mhm.
and she will schedule it to be heard by the Board of Supervisors.
And then if they say, okay, it'll go to circuit court.
And then it'll go to the circuit court,
Okay.
yes, sir.
I'm comfortable,
I'm
but
happy.
we need a motion.
I move that we endorse Ross Shiflett to serve on the BZA as an alternate.
I second that motion.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
And you understand the alternate position?
Oh, yes, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that hasn't changed a lot with it. Different seats.
Okay, so we don't have any other business on the agenda. Last item, if there's any further public comment, does anybody would like to say at this time? Now's your time. We don't have a case standing, so you're welcome to,
So what I wanted to say is, looking at the map,
okay.
mobile home,
Home up, yeah.
We'd like to hear you later for the record.
so looking at what you have,
Yes.
the mobile home, a back porch and a deck. The deck is 10 feet. If you didn't put a deck on the front, you wouldn't,
You have to have something there.
you can have a porch, you can have, but it doesn't need to be a 10-foot deck. And then if you just put a patio instead of a deck on the back, you wouldn't have needed a variance. Right?
That's a building code
A
question.
little stoop on the front.
Well, that trailer would,
Yeah. I
I've
agree.
got pictures of the trailer.
Yes, ma'am.
Your deck will be nicer than the trailer.
That's starting out, but not finished.
But anyway, that's the only public comment I have to make, is that there could have been some changes done to that, and then there wouldn't be this issue, I think.
Well, that's always the case. There are ways that you can work around the building code to avoid variances. You're exactly right.
I mean, it wouldn't have been, because I think you would have had his 25 feet.
Well, you're making a good point. It is still something that they should consider. I mean, there are different ways to meet what the ordinance requires based on what the building code requires. Well, yeah, that's, you know, like say that what makes this unique, just like a lot of the cases you see, is because it's a grandfather lot. You know, and it doesn't give you much space to work with. I agree. Yeah, obviously, if it was a 3-acre lot, yeah, we wouldn't be talking, you know, so, we understand that. But thank you for pointing that out, though. Because we have lots of cases, you wouldn't believe, though, people just don't understand what they can do with what they have, you know, and they come in asking for a variance on something that they can just re-examine what they have to work with and make it work without ever having to come before us. You know, it's just they didn't talk to somebody that knew building code or knew how to build, you know, and so, but it's still, on this particular situation, y'all, I don't know how to express enough, y'all have real issues with the road. Y'all know that. And it's all about everybody having to work together to make that road.
It's always, you should keep more or less keep your distance from your neighbors.
I know.
And all your neighbors want your distance, like I said.
I know.
You don't wanna sit on your porch, and you be barbecuing, and I'm sitting on this side, well, I don't like what you cooking. All your smoke is coming over
I know.
there. But if you stand your 25 feet off, 25 feet, if you're cooking there,
I know.
but 25 feet's back here, time
I
it
know.
gets back here, the odor or whatever you're cooking, the scent is blowing this way or this way.
Well, that's why Madison County years ago said a 3-acre minimum. And
No,
this
we
is
don't
what,
go- Well, we don't go back 3-acre minimum.
well, you do now, but you don't because you're grandfathered. That's what creates the problem. That's what I say, that's why in the seventies, they set that ordinance at
Good
3
ordinance,
acres. You know, you have to be 3 acres now. And believe me, we've had people come in to want to do lots less than 3 acres, and we've said no. Well, I don't think it's never been approved. And those points are why. Very good points.
You wanna keep your distance.
You do, I agree. But the roads, how it is, the further you go back, they didn't pay any attention to what they did. They just did it. Lots of times there's a state settlement and they're splitting stuff up and they just slap a road in there. They didn't even think about what would happen.
This road's been in before the 1900s because we've had the property
Yeah.
there in
Yeah,
the late 1800s when we,
yeah, there are lots of old, what they call them, carriage roads.
no, next road over, not Buggy Lane.
Yeah. Carriage lanes. Yeah, yeah. And it's just it's one of those things you have to slowly address them every time they come to you. And you've got a tough one with that road. Okay, any other comments, business for us tonight? Hearing none, we need a motion for adjournment, please.
I'll make a motion for adjournment.
Is there a second?
I'll second that.
We're adjourned. Thank you very much.
Thank you all.